Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I want to talk about losing weight and what it really takes to get the body of your dreams. And it's a lot easier than you think. You don't have to starve, you don't have to have a very controlled diet, and you don't have to be an Olympic athlete whatsoever, or really kill yourself, kill your joints to have the perfect body. By perfect body, to me, this is my own view for my own body. That's like my own goals, is that I don't like to have love handles. I don't like to have like a muffin top. By nature, I have like somewhat of like a mini like lean pouch, kind of like the Greek goddesses type of bodies, but I mean, it's not super visible when I have a pretty decent amount of body fat percentage. And so in this video, I want to actually break the stereotype and the myth that probably a lot of girls are under the impression of, that they basically need to starve themselves and kill their joints and their muscles and their bodies to get the body of their dreams. And I am living proof that you don't need to do that. Now, obviously, I don't know what your body type is, but I am not like skinny by nature whatsoever. And I'm more on the like fatty side. And by that I mean like I have an apple shaped body. And most of my fat storage is between like my love handles and, like I said, my muffin top. And so if ever I eat things that I'm not supposed to be eating, that's where it's gonna be stored. So it's pretty visible, when I gain weight. So my ideal goals for my own body was to basically, and forever, to not have like intense love handles, to have them like smooth with my back, and for my muffin top not to be visible. Like, it's okay if there's like a pouch, but my ideal goal is for like my ab lines to show one way or another, for me to have like a smooth, like lean stomach, and for if I do have like a muffin top or like a pouch showing, that it won't like create shade under my belly button. And that's always been my goal. I've been through phases where I really starved myself to, like, I would say death, trying to be like a bodybuilder. I was an Olympic weightlifter, and I used to count my calories on the MyFitnessPal app. I used to count my macros and my micros, micronutrients. And I was very lean. I had like 15% body fat, 17 or 15, somewhere between there. And then because I was working out so intensely for hours every single day, I was diagnosed with chondromalacia patella on both knees. And because I couldn't work out anymore, I couldn't eat as much meat as I was eating before for protein. And what happened was that, like, I don't know, my lifestyle got completely like bulldozed, and my body just like fell, like it just whatever. So ever since, I've been trying to find a way to stay healthy and look really good without necessarily getting chondromalacia patella again, or like aggravating it, because the doctor told me that if I don't listen to my knees and my body's pain, I wouldn't be able to walk by the time I would be 30 years old, and I'm 26 right now. And at the time I was, I think, 24 or 25. Yeah, probably 24. So anyways, the point of this is to tell you that I used to struggle so much when I was counting my calories, and I used to live on 1,200 to 1,600 calories a day. Actually, 1,500. 1,500 was a good day. 1,200 calories a day. Can you imagine? That's crazy. That's like nothing. And I would barely eat any fats. I would barely eat any carbs. I would literally like starve myself. I would have like barely like a third of a cup of oatmeal for breakfast. Obviously, I would add fruits and stuff, but I would finish that like third of a cup, and I'd be like thirsty for more, you know? I'd be so hungry like all the freaking time. And the only thing that I can think of in the entire day, every single day, is food. When am I gonna have food? I'm so hungry. I'm starving. I'm starving. It was literally like an obsession, you know? And it didn't even do me good because I wasn't even like in the perfect shape that I wanted to be in. Like, yeah, I had a lot of muscles, but if I couldn't upkeep those muscles, all like it was just I don't know, I don't know, something happened with my body. It was like not the perfect shape that I wanted. So having 100 militia patella is kind of like a blessing in disguise for me, because I realized that you can eat whatever you want, and as long as it's like whole foods, you're good to go. Like nothing is gonna happen with your body. Now it may take a year or more, or a couple of months, half a year, wherever stage you're at right now. It depends on where you're starting from, but for me, I was like from a fit standing point with a little bit more fat here and there, you know, not a lot, but a little bit. And so it roughly took me like about 6 months or more to have like kind of like that model type body where, you know, I was pretty much like skinny in all places, but I also had like nice curves because I was working out at the same time, and I had like, you know, muscle mass and so on. But here's how to lose weight without really doing anything and without like restricting your diet. Basically, kind of have a kitchen makeover, and there are certain main guidelines, you know, in the sense that like what's okay for you to eat and what's not. They're just main broad high level guidelines. Aside from that, eat whatever the hell you want, you know. Don't starve yourself, don't resist, don't stop yourself from having anything really. As long as you're respecting those guidelines, nobody cares. Your body doesn't care how much you're gonna eat. You're gonna lose weight automatically. And those guidelines are, first of all, make sure that everything you're putting in your mouth is a whole food. And by that I mean throw everything that's processed that you have in your place, everything that's boxed and whatever, throw that away. When it comes to grains and carbs, have everything as a whole grain or whole wheat or whole anything. It has to be whole. You cannot eat white rice. You cannot eat white anything, you know, as the moment you can have whatever you want if it's the least processed possible and it's whole, you know. So I eat whole wheat pasta, I eat whole grain rice, brown rice, I eat whole grain oats, or whole whatever oats, rolled oats, or whatever you want to call them. And I always have whole stuff. Potatoes, I never buy the chopped frozen ones. You never know what they put in them. I always buy those fresh. Like a bag this large can be like $5, you know, and it can be 10 pounds. I always buy fresh sweet potatoes and fresh everything, you know, when it comes to carbs. Whole everything. You have to stop the white flour. You have to stop the white everything. Nothing. You cannot have anything white in your kitchen. It has to be brown or whole wheat. It's that simple, guys. It's literally that simple. Everything you have in your pantry is okay to have. Just switch it to whole. That's literally it. You know, you don't have to stop eating rice. You don't have to stop eating quinoa. You don't have to stop eating, I don't know, a million things. You can eat whatever you want as long as it's whole, you know, the least processed possible. That's it. It's fine, you know. Now, with that, another guiding principle is stop the sugars. So anything that has sugar, remove it, eliminate it. So if you eat yogurt with fruits and you buy like the yogurt that already has fruits in it, and you know, from the supermarket, you know, or that it's already sweetened in some one way or another, that has already vanilla in it or whatever, you can't buy that shit. You just can't, you know. Forget about that. Anything that has sugar that is sold in a supermarket, I bet you, and I can almost guarantee you, that it's made with the cheapest, most harmful sugar, which is corn syrup or something else that is absolutely toxic and destructive for your body and for your taste buds and for your, like, just, you know, biological functions or just your habit, you know. The moment you start having like high levels of sugar like this, you're gonna get used to this level of sugar, and nothing below that will satisfy you. So you need to eliminate all of that. Now, in a transition period, if you need to have honey to supplement, your sweet foods with yogurt or whatever, that's okay. But my advice is have all of your sweet foods, if it's with honey, that you put in your home and not somebody else, choosing how much sugar to put in your food. As long as you have that in the morning, it's fine. Why? Because in the morning, you're kind of breaking a fast. And so any sugars that you eat will go automatically to your muscles to feed your muscles. So they won't go to your fat cells, they'll go to your muscles. And out of experience, let me tell you, the amount of whole wheat pancakes that I have in the morning, smothered, like literally bathing in honey and like this much butter, like I eat this much and I look like, I don't know, like I think I look amazing. I'm so confident in my body. I think like my body looks like a model, when I take care of it. And I'm so proud of like the way I look. And this is exactly how I want to look. If that's not how you want to look, and if like you have a different shape or whatever, like this is you, this is what you want, I'm just talking about whatever your body shape is, doesn't really matter. If you have the ultimate healthy, like sustainable diet that I'm talking about right now, you are gonna look at your finest, honey, at your healthiest, and that's what matters. The shape is not what's important. What's important is that you be at the peak of your best. You know what I'm saying? So eliminate the sugars. You cannot have them unless they're like, natural sources like honey, because it's anti-inflammatory, so it's good for you in the morning. Keep the sweetness in the morning. What else? Have like a balanced meal. You simply cannot skip protein. It just doesn't work. Your body needs protein in every way possible. Your brain feeds on protein. There are so many like molecular elements in your body that needs protein in high amounts. And you just simply cannot skip it. You just can't skip protein. Your body is always going to feel hungry. And if you don't have enough protein, especially if you don't have enough protein, and if you don't have enough protein, your body is going to want to supplement that with, guess what? Carbs and fat, which makes you fat, mostly carbs. So you don't want to overeat carbs. Overeating fat is okay in my personal opinion. And we'll talk about that in a bit. But you have to have enough protein so you can have that satiating feeling, and so you won't be prompted to go and snack the entire day on absolutely useless, damaging things. So my recommendation is to have like this much protein per meal. I don't care what it is. You can have whatever the hell you want, but it has to be this much if it's from an animal source. Now, I'm not a vegan. I'm not a vegetarian. But so the rules to those types of diets are different. You should probably go to another channel for that. I'm talking to people who eat meat. This much per meal is perfect. And the rest is going to be this much carbs and then this much vegetables. And just kind of like consider a plate that's divided in 3. Each third has to be a different kind of thing. You have to have vegetables to have antioxidants and micronutrients that your body needs. We won't go into details now. The other third is whole carbs. And the last third is protein. That's it. Now, when you have protein, speaking of which, it has to be like a raw source, a raw, non-processed source. Forget the nuggets, forget the chicken tenders, forget the meat that's already, I don't know what's like, the sausages and the I don't know what, and the like, these like types of meats that like are processed and they look beige and so perfectly like smooth. You can't even tell what's inside. Forget about those. You have to go to the lean meats, the meats that look gross, the meats that actually look like parts of animals. This is what you need to be eating. Now, when I was a bodybuilder and like an Olympic weightlifter, I used to only eat white meat, or as they call it, lean meat. But to be frank with you, it absolutely does not matter the type of meat that you eat, that I like, from what I realized. On the contrary, the more your meat is fatty, the more your meal is going to be satiating, and the less you're going to be snacking later, which is perfect, which means that you're going to consume overall a decent amount of calories a day. And, you are going to have a controlled diet every single day without even thinking about it. And so chicken thighs is totally cool, chicken legs, totally fine with me. Chicken wings, oh yeah, why not? For ground beef, I usually eat lean. I used to eat extra lean, but now I eat lean. Just because, the ground stuff, I don't recommend for you to get it in like normal, so non-lean, because you don't know the type of fat that they throw in there. And I don't trust businesses, I don't trust like commercial places and stuff. So I want to keep the control over the decisions as much as I can. So when it comes to ground stuff, I get them lean. What else is there? Fish, fatty fishes, non-fatty fish. It doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. As long as it's fresh and it's from an animal, that's all you need to care about. As long as it gives you enough protein, that's all that matters. It has to be fresh. It cannot be these sausages that look like freaking plastic, and the colors vary from like beige to somewhat like light brown, and like these have sugars, they have preservatives, they have like a million things inside them that you don't even like probably understand what the names of these ingredients are, and this is not what's gonna do you good. So this is for protein. We said no sugar. We said whole carbs. I don't give a damn how much carbs you eat, it doesn't matter as long as there's no like added sugar in these carbs and they're whole or brown. Like nobody cares. Your body is gonna love them, or at least from my experience, because I'm not a doctor obviously, but from my experience, I eat so much of those without even thinking, within my meals, my main meals. And like nothing happens to my body. I still look amazing. It doesn't affect, it doesn't give me like a tummy. It doesn't give me love handles. Like it's just normal food, So stop the sugars and stuff. If you want to indulge in chocolate, get the darkest chocolate possible. And I recommend 75% and up. The higher you go, the better, because you're going to want to eat less of it because of how dense it is. It's kind of like a deterrent. What else? We talked about veggies. If you definitely feel like you need to snack on sugars in the meantime to transition, then probably get low sugar fruits. Bananas are not one of them. Apples are some of them. You have berries as well. Those are really low index. So like the sugar that they give you like immediately is pretty low. So they're controlled, and that's good. But honestly, forget measuring fat. Eat as much fat as you want. Fat, by the way, it doesn't make you fat. Fat is, especially the healthy fats, like, so we're talking like full fat dairy, and we're talking olive oil, we're talking omega-3s, omega-6, but a little less. We're talking nuts, we're talking avocados, we're talking, I don't know, like unrefined walnut oil or coconut oil, or even like grass-fed butter. All of these things, or ghee butter and whatever, like all of these things are super healthy for you, and your brain especially needs them. What fuels the brain, actually, there are studies that have shown that it's not sugar that fuels the brain. So when people give you like energy bars that are packed with sugar, those are not going to fuel your brain. Those are just going to get immediately stored into your fat cells. What fuels your brain is fat, and you need the fat. The fat doesn't make you fat. Fat is energy, and it makes you smarter because it goes to your brain and it satiates you, and it stops, you from wanting sugar throughout the day. So if you need to replace sugar with fats, remove the sugar and take in more fat. Fat is good. Fat is not going to make you fat. I started eating so much fat after my chondromalacia patella incident and stopped eating sugar. I'm telling you, honey, that is when I looked at my best. Like, I looked my best, basically. I was in my best shape. But it has to be healthy fat, like I said. So get the non-refined stuff. If you can get organic stuff, the better. olive oil, get the real olive oil. I'm Mediterranean, so you know, olive oil is a huge thing, but it's also super healthy. So make sure that you're getting your fats. Avocados make you skinnier, believe it or not, with time. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna try to find pictures for you to show you like and demonstrate to you throughout this video of like, you know, my evolution. Now you have to work out, and I would recommend at least like 20 to 30 minutes a day. Doesn't really matter what you do, as long as there's a combination of cardio and strengthening. You need this. You need to strengthen and build your muscles. You're not gonna look like a Hulk. Trust me, if you're not lifting like a significant amount of weights, you will not look like a Hulk. You know, girls, it's so hard for them to look like Hulks. But you have to strengthen your muscles, because your muscles, you know, instead of doing a lot of like cardio, your muscles burn fat and consume like energy, so from your food throughout the day, even while you're sitting. And this is exactly what you want. You don't want to just like burn fat during those 20 minutes of working out. You want to burn fat throughout the entire day, and the only way to do it is to have enough muscles on your body that consume food automatically on like autopilot while you're doing other stuff like sitting and working. So build yourself some muscles, and this is how you're gonna lose weight. This is a recipe that worked for me, and I'm not bullshitting you. I'm not exaggerating. This is coming from a true story. I'm being genuine, if you can't tell already from my energy. So yeah, I hope you like my advice. Please let me know your experience below. And if you appreciate my advice, make sure to hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe for more. We're going to talk about so many more things. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.